Welcome and thank you so much for watching another informative episode of Breeding Cash. We are at Karen Estate here in Nairobi town. And of course, not so many people will associate Karen with farming, but it might shock you that we have one farmer who is breeding cash, literally, because she's in a position to make up to 300 liters of milk per day. I'm talking about Sarah Mwangi, who forms our success story this week. And remember, you can always engage us directly on Twitter and on Facebook. Hashtag is breeding cash. Let's find out how Sarah is doing right here at Karen Estate. Habari Sarah. Habari ya kazi. How did you start this kind of farming and what inspired you?
Okay, I started in year 2008. And when I was starting, it was not like a business. I was doing it for my kids. I had young kids and I wanted some milk. So I decided to keep 2 cows for my own consumption.
Talking of starting with 2 cows, maybe in terms of your background, in one point, did you think of yourself doing this kind of farming?
No. I have never thought about it because when I was growing up in the village, it was a lot of work, you know, and we really didn't like to be associated with cows. But this one I just started like just to supplement for the milk at home. And then like now when I started with the 2 cows I was telling you, then in the process, the 2 cows that I started with, we served them. And after we served them, then we didn't have milk. We went back to square one. So I had to buy 2 more cows so that we can continue getting the milk. And now after I got the 2 cows and the other one calved down, it's how we got now extra milk and people started asking for the milk. So that's how the business idea came up.
And looking at starting with 2 cows, and now you are even going to 20 plus. So what has been the secret of success?
I say first of all is dedication and passion. Because like you have to be involved, like you can't run the farm through the phone. You have to be involved to know what the workers are doing, to know the cows. I know my cows personally. I know their production and all that. And when milk reduces by some liters, I'll know there's a problem. Either the cow is sick or it's on heat or something.
And you say that you cannot learn this kind of farming on phone. So that means it has to be full-time. In your life, have you ever tried to get employment somewhere, and how did it go?
Yes. I was working from 2008. At the time I started, I was working until 2012 when I weighed my options, and when I did my calculations, my farm was paying me better than my employer, and that's the time I decided to quit.
Talking of market, because you've said that your farm was paying you well, if we can go to the figures in terms of the number of liters of milk that you produce and the market price, how is that?
I can say that the market here is good because we can't even meet the demand. For one, there are not many farmers in this area. There are quite few. And then you can see the surrounding, the karendukas. We separate karendukas in the hotels, and we also separate to the school surrounding us. And also we have a daily society for the community. So basically the market is good. I can say that.
And let me just ask a very basic question, because we have some farmers saying that for you to run this kind of business, to the tune of you have 20 cows and still counting, you need at least, basics in bookkeeping and all that. And I see you have even files, payment vouchers and all that. So do you believe that they have a case?
Not really. As long as you have the passion, it will drive you to what you want to do. Because I don't have any background in dairy farming. But what I've done when I started this now, I went for seminars, I go for open fields. I run a lot. So as long as you have the passion, the rest will follow.
Oh, amazing. Looking at now how you manage your employees, how many employees do you have, and how are you getting along with them?
At the moment, I have 7 employees. 5 are here at the farm, and 2 are here, and then two outside where we have leased some land for napier grass and for hay. And their management, I can't say it's bad because they have their own supervisor. They report to him, and then the supervisor reports to me.
Oh, okay. Now let's go to the point where you started and the startup capital that you required at that particular point. You said you started with 2 cows.
Yes,
Roughly how much did you start with? And as you progressed, how were you managing in terms of knowing the amount of money that you can pump into your business?
Okay, when I was starting, you see, I didn't have any background or anything. So even the cows that I started with, they were not hybrid. So I didn't spend so much money, maybe 200,000 on both of them. But now with time, I've learned about the breed. So now I improve on my breed.
Talking of breeds, we are going to talk more about that in our next segment. But looking at the ideal picture or the ideal place that you'd like your farming to go, looking at maybe the next 10 years, where do you see yourself?
Oh, in the next 10 years, okay, right now we are at a target of, we are doing 300 liters per day. And I'm thinking like if we hit the target of 500 liters per day, I would like to do value addition. Like I start processing my own yogurt, I start processing cheese, you know, things like that.
And in terms of business-wise, or rather this kind of farming, maybe some of the challenges as far as management is concerned, what are some of the challenges that you faced?
Okay, like I can say like we have used our challenges like stepping stones, because initially when we started, we didn't know about some diseases like East Coast fever, and I lost a cow out of that. And that's when I realized we need to spray our cows. We do that twice a week. So now I can say we're on top of that. The other one, when we started, it's feeds. And for feeds now, we have enough that can last us even up to 6 months during the dry period. So it's like we use our challenges to go to the next level.
Oh, and so as we end up this conversation, especially from a managerial point of view, what would you tell that farmer who still has, you know, 1 cow, but he has hopes or dreams that, you know, I'll keep 20 like Sarah?
I can tell them they're in the right path and to continue, but as they go forward, they should improve on their breed, and then they should be more passionate about it. And then nowadays, it's what we call sexed semen. You know, initially we are just serving cow with in a semen, but now there are sexed semen which you can give to our animals so that when we get, you only get a heifer.
Oh,
yeah.
Amazing. Now, we've been talking to Sarah, especially on how she started this kind of business. I'm calling it business, though it's farming, because this is agribusiness. And now she has mentioned 2 key things, feeding and disease control. So in the next segment, we want to go to the field. We want to go to where the structures are so that we can learn more about feeding program and disease control. Keep it WTV. Glad that you're still watching Breeding Cash. Now in the first segment, we've been talking to Sarah from Janima Farm on how she started this kind of farming, and she's still here with me, but we want to go to the details of the feeding program. So Sarah, you told me that you do about 300 liters of milk per day.
Yes.
I believe in terms of feeding, you must be doing the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
How do you feed your animals?
Just like human beings, cows also need a balanced diet. And in this one, we divide it into 3 categories. We have the dry matter which comes from the hay, and then hay and napier. And then the second category, we have the supplements like the dairy meal and all that. And then again, we have the salt, which is very key.
Now, I want to go direct to the issue of napier and hay, because we have some farmers asking, feeding your animals with dry matter makes them drink a lot of water, then you get a lot of milk. How are you in a position to balance that?
The cow will tell. If like now you give wet material like napier grass, okay, for one, you're not supposed to give the napier grass when you cut it direct from the farm. You're supposed to give it like 2 days to dry so that the cow does not diarrhea. So as you're saying, it is right, you're supposed to give more dry matter to the cow, especially the hay, because it's high in nutrients. And then you have the napier grass, you have to cut it at the right time. So you must balance the 2.
So what you're telling me is that if you give your cow napier direct from the shamba, you are likely to have issues with
the stomach of the cow.
And now, apart from the napier, let's go to the dairy mill. Which kind of quantity do you usually give so that at the end of the day, because dairy mill is a bit expensive, you must also economize on how you're using the dairy mill plus the other kind of feeds. How do you manage that?
Okay, we just use simple arithmetic. We say half a kg for every liter produced. So it's like if your cow, let's say it's giving you 30 liters, you're supposed to give it 15 kilos of dairy meal. And these 15 kilos, you spread it throughout the day. Maybe you can give 5 in the morning, 5 during lunchtime, and 5 in the evening. That way you'll maximize on your production.
Now, about the mineral supplements, the kind of salt that you're talking about,
yes.
How do you go about that?
Okay, that one also we are supposed to give this away you are supposed to give, and we give like 200 grams per day. So we give 100 grams in the morning, and in the evening we give another 100 grams, which is very important because it helps with the general appearance of the cow, and also there are some trace elements we find from the salt.
And there is some kind of salt that maybe some experts or some farmers have argued that this one you should give it before, calving, this one is after calving. So which kind of salt are you in a position to assimilate or rather give your cow at the right time?
Okay, it's true because we have different, like the ones that we are milking, it's not the same ones that we are giving to the dry cows. I'll show you our dry cows there. So for the dry cows, we have to prepare them as they are, we call it steaming up. You steam up like 2 months before they calve down. This way, we also help the cow to produce more milk when it has calved down, and again, it won't retain the placenta. You see, you find some cows, they have given birth and then they have retained
quite a bit of some time before.
So this one also help not to retain the placenta. And there are particular sort for that, we call it dry cow.
Oh, okay. And now let's go to sometimes use of molasses when feeding livestock, or rather dairy cows. There are some who say that once you introduce molasses to your cows, they will never take any kind of feeds without molasses. How true is that? And do you give your cows molasses?
Personally, okay, I know molasses is good. It makes the feeds more palatable. I don't think it has any value addition to the cow, but my cows, I don't feed them on molasses. Yeah.
Why are you a bit skeptical in terms of using molasses?
Not really, but I can say my cows don't like it. We tried and they didn't like the molasses. I don't know, maybe the smell or something. Or I don't know, I didn't get it, but they didn't like it.
So after doing all that, you're in a position to get about 25 to 30 liters of milk from every cow.
Yes.
Now let's go to the market. How is the market of milk, especially in this kind of area?
Here we thank God because the market here is very good, as I was telling you, because in the surrounding areas we have some schools and then also the shopping center, the current shopping center, and they buy milk from us. The hotels around Karen buy milk from us.
So in terms of the prices and the prices versus the input that you use a lot of money for feeds and all that. So how much do they buy every liter of milk?
We sell at 60 bob per liter, which is not bad. So we manage.
So what you're simply saying is with 60 shillings per liter, you're in a position to run your farm comfortably.
Yes.
At what level should a farmer be worried when the prices get to some certain extent?
I think prices between 50 and 60, they are fair. And again, it will depend with your feeding, because at times if you feed your cow too much, they may not return. So you must balance the two.
Okay.
Yeah, but as long as a cow is giving you for 20 liters, I think you are good to go.
Now, in terms of looking at the benefits of economies of scale, there are those people that say for you to hit it big in dairy industry, you really need to have a lot of cows. According to you, if you want to go commercial in this particular sector, how many cows should you be looking up to?
Okay, because we cannot all start big. I feel like you can start with 5 and above. When you have 5 cows, you can break even.
What you're simply saying is 5 cows giving you at least between 25 to
yeah, we are saying 25 to 20. Even if you work with an average of 25, that's 125 liters per day, which is good enough to me.
Still on the point of feeds, as we move on, there is the point of where you get your feeds, because with this kind of weather right now, we have El Nino coming, we have a lot of feeds, so to speak, but a dry season sometimes comes. So in terms of storage and how you manage your feeds from where you get them, how exactly do you achieve, success at the end of the day?
Okay, for one, we have invested so much in RAD. We have planted napier grass and hay a few kilometers from here, and that way we are guaranteed, even if it rains, we still have some feeds. But now from after the rains, we are going to harvest our hay, which will be ready, and we'll put it in our stores. The stores that they can take even 2,000 bales.
Oh, so you have stores here?
Yeah, we have stores.
We are going to look at to that when we are discussing structures. But right now, maybe I would be interested to see the kind of cows you have, because you are also going to talk about breeds as well.